Alright, so this is my first out of the theater MEW movie review. Weapons. That's what I just saw right now, leaving the theater. First of all, go see it. Totally worth the watch. If you like Barbarian, you'll like Weapons. I will say that Weapons isn't as shocking. If that's too strong a word. It's not as twisty and turny as Barbarian, but you don't quite know where it's going. Very entertaining, very well made. Acting is great. Basically, all the filmmaking on display was great. Some really great build-ups, great moments, great devices used. But I will say, without spoiling it, that once you find out what the cause of it is, not shocking. It's kind of what you would think, like, hey, what are the reasons that this could happen? Yeah, it's going to be right up in the top 3, probably. But that's not a bad thing, because the way it was executed and portrayed was really good. Just like Barbarian, there's, character development, humor, suspense, scares, has it all. And really, in general, I think this is something Quentin Tarantino has said, that movies, shouldn't just be one thing. It should make you go through a roller coaster ride, like, feel multiple emotions, laugh, make you feel scared, make you feel, satisfied, thrilling, whatever that is, make you feel thrilled. There's one specific moment where it kind of takes you on a ride like that, which I won't spoil, but it has suspense, wonder, scare, directly followed by a laugh. Literally taking you on a roller coaster ride of emotions. And the film does it a couple times, but really one that's pronounced. And of course, stuff like that's not going to work if the filmmaking on display isn't actually good, especially the acting and the writing. You could easily kill a moment like that with a poorly written line, bad acting moment. And yeah, Weapons is really well made, well written. The fact that Cregger wrote and directed it just shows, the guy's got talent. He knows how to make a good movie that takes you on a roller coaster ride. I'm sure there are some deep down woven themes but I would say if there are, they don't jump out at you, which is good. It's exactly what you want again in a movie. I don't want to get beat over the head with whatever message you're trying to tell me, but they're subtly woven in there, good. So yeah, I'm sure there's a message. There's one particular shot of the title namesake with an alarm that fades into it. If that's not a message, I don't know what the hell it was doing in the movie, other than it's the title in the sky. Again, I don't want to spoil it. I was hoping when I saw that, by the way, I was like, oh god, is this going to be what I think it is? And that message is going to come up and say something on it. No, it didn't at all. At least not like in your face, or how it's portrayed in the media. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe if you think you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments, and maybe I'll talk about it more on there. But really glad that didn't ruin the movie, because that would have ruined the movie for me. I can't wait to see what Cregger does next. I know he's supposed to do Resident Evil. It's very interesting that someone who's made the films he has is going to do kind of a studio, property that's already established. That although they were terrible, I did like the movies, especially when I was a kid. On a specific note, for the acting, all the actors were phenomenal. Garner was great. It's good to see her in something other than Ozarks, because I really haven't. Brolin's always good. It's actually very refreshing to see him in a role like this, because I don't think I quite have seen him in a role like this. Not that he had some crazy role where he played some, but he was good. Benedict Wong was great, especially for what he had to do with his character. All the actors were great, and a certain old actress in particular, phenomenal in her role. I don't want to say too much because it might spoil something, but she was great. The child actors were great. Forgetting the guy that played the cop, but he was really great. All of them were good. And the way that the story is told, it's almost in chapters, and the story shifts between the characters, which the negative is you don't uninterrupted and spend time with one character, but it jumps between multiple characters. So when it does that, they become the main character of the story, which is really cool. I'm gonna cap off the weapons review with this. You have movies like this where people disappeared, unexplained, or just unexplained things in general. It's mysterious, and you go through the movie trying to find out what happened. Why did these people disappear? That's a thing that happens in a lot of movies. Longlegs is an example of a movie that does that. These things are happening, they're unexplained, and then you find out later that it's something not of this world. It's demonic. It's not always satisfying when it's presented as realistic as possible, and then it turns into, well, actually, it was the devil did it. The devil made me do it. It can be not satisfying if it's not done right. I don't even know if it wasn't done right in Longlegs, but it just wasn't satisfying. And I think part of that comes down to not caring about the main character. Maybe because she doesn't speak. And that's coming from someone who's also quiet and I guess introverted. Not shy, but introverted. Not social. Yeah, and Weapons, it has a similar thing where you don't know what happened. These kids disappear. And I guess I will say this, just because I have to gauge what I'm talking about. There's an element that's not of this world that explains what's going on. The difference is, in Weapons, the whole movie is satisfying. It's presented realistic. What happened. We don't know, but it's all presented realistic. Nothing supernatural or whatever. The characters are well written, well acted. You have interest in the characters. I really like the movie how it had like chapters almost. I think that's something that's underdone in movies. I really enjoy that. Tarantino does it, obviously. And when it's revealed, it's satisfying. It doesn't feel like, oh, but that's what it was. Like, it just feels right, feels satisfying. You go with it. It's taken completely serious with the reason that it's, happening. No jokes about that, but there are some funny things that happen because of it. And I think maybe that has a huge part of it is, that's kind of a double entendre. What is that? I'm saying maybe a huge part. Which one is it, buddy? It has a huge part in it. The fact that it has comedy, because Longlegs, not an ounce of funny in that movie, unless you laugh at Nicolas Cage's loony performance, which I did. In a good way, because he's supposed to be like humorous almost. He's so evil that he's funny. Dr. Evil. Yeah, Longlegs didn't have any humor moments in it. And then Weapons did. So maybe that has a huge part of it. There it is again. Yeah, so I'll just cap it off. Weapons is a successful movie. It's suspenseful and funny and well worth your time and a very satisfying ending. Go watch it.